They say love blinds you. And maybe that's true. For years, I thought I was living in the perfect marriage. I trusted her. I adored her. I built my entire life around her. But one night, I realized it was all a lie. And the worst part? She didn't even care to hide it. Her name is Emma. We met in college, at a coffee shop where she spilled her latte all over my notes. I laughed. She apologized. And from that moment on, I thought fate had brought us together. We got married, young, moved into a small apartment, and dreamed about our future. She was my best friend, my partner, my everything. For 8 years, I believed we were happy. But happiness can be an illusion. At first, the changes were subtle. She stayed late at work more often, claiming deadlines. She smiled less when we were together, but her phone seemed to bring her constant joy. I'd walk into the room, and she'd quickly lock the screen. At dinner, her eyes weren't on me anymore, they were somewhere else. I tried to ignore it. I told myself she was stressed, or maybe I wasn't giving her enough attention. But deep down, something felt wrong. One Friday evening, she said she was going out with friends from work. I kissed her goodbye, but something inside me screamed, "Follow her." I got in my car and trailed behind. My heart was racing. She didn't go to the restaurant she mentioned. Instead, she drove across town, parked outside a dimly lit bar, and walked in alone. I sat there, gripping the steering wheel, trying to convince myself it was nothing. But then I saw him, a man, smiling, pulling her close. She touched his arm the way she used to touch mine. They laughed together, like teenagers in love. My stomach turned. I couldn't stop myself. I walked inside. The music was loud, the lights dim, but when she saw me, she froze. For a second, guilt flashed in her eyes. But then she smiled, as if I was the one intruding. I stood in front of her and asked, "Who is he?" She didn't hesitate. She didn't cry, didn't beg for forgiveness. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Someone who actually makes me happy." I felt the air leave my lungs. This was the woman I promised forever to, and she threw it away with a single sentence. The man, her lover, had the audacity to smirk at me, like he had won some prize. I wanted to scream, to fight, to demand answers. But all I could do was stare at the stranger my wife had become. That night, I packed my bags. She didn't chase me. She didn't even call. 8 years together, and she let me walk out like I was nothing. The next few days were a blur, anger, sadness, sleepless nights, replaying every moment in my head. How many lies had there been? How long was she planning this? Was our entire marriage just a performance? I realized the woman I loved was gone. Or maybe she never truly existed. Maybe I was in love with an idea, not with her. 2 weeks later, she showed up at my door. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity won. She looked broken, her perfect mask shattered. She admitted that the affair wasn't what she expected, that he wasn't who she thought he was. And then she confessed something even worse. He wasn't the first. There had been others long before that night in the bar. My marriage hadn't just ended 2 weeks ago. It had been dead for years. I just didn't see it. That was the moment I stopped blaming myself. Her betrayal wasn't about me. It wasn't about what I did or didn't do. It was about her, her choices, her lies, her emptiness. I closed the door that night, not just on her, but on the life I thought I had. Betrayal destroys you, but it also frees you. And if you've ever been betrayed, you know the pain, but you also know the strength that comes after. This was my story, but it's not the only one. On this channel, every broken heart has a voice. Subscribe and join me in uncovering the secrets people try to hide.